On October 10, 2014, former Nickelodeon child star Amanda Bynes came forward with some very serious allegations. But then, just 2 hours later, Amanda retracted those allegations, saying, "My dad never did any of those things. The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me." And within 24 hours, Amanda was detained and forced into psychiatric care. At the time, many passed this off as just the ramblings of another actress who had fallen from grace. But others weren't so sure, suspecting something far more malicious was hidden below the surface. And after the documentary Quiet on Set brought to light the behind the scenes at Nickelodeon, this idea only grew stronger, leading people to question why had Amanda seemingly been left out of the documentary. And looking through forgotten footage and unearthing deleted tweets from alleged secret accounts, we began to wonder not only if she had been traumatized by her family, but could she have been affected by certain people at Nickelodeon? Join us as we separate rumors from facts and investigate what happened to Amanda Bynes. For some actors, it takes a lifetime to hone their craft, with pivotal work often arriving late in life. But when it comes to child stars, these tykes seem to be born with the uncanny ability to canonize a catchphrase.
You got it, dude.
Cry on command.
I don't care what the president says, he's my best friend, and you can't take him away.
And endear themselves to millions. Amanda Bynes was no exception. Born in Thousand Oaks, California, on April 3, 1986, to a dentist father and dental assistant mother, Amanda was only 7 when she made it clear she would not be entering the family trade after landing her first role in a Nestle's candy commercial. From there on, Amanda booked various TV commercials, while also acting off-screen in regional theatrical productions like Annie, The Secret Garden, and Music Man. But regardless of her growing resume, Amanda's big break came from the unlikeliest of places, camp. Of course, born with natural comedic timing, Amanda's abilities were no fit for the run-of-the-mill summer camp. Instead, she was enrolled in LA's Laugh Factory comedy camp.
Maybe I should have skipped that 13th candy bar.
This is where a producer from Nickelodeon saw Amanda perform and approached her parents to ask them to let her daughter audition for the network. Her parents agreed, and Amanda ended up getting a role on the 90s children's sketch comedy show, All That.
Hi everyone, it's me, Amanda.
For the aspiring actress, the opportunity to work on a show she herself binge-watched was a dream come true. Unfortunately, Amanda was still too young to know how quickly some dreams can turn into nightmares. According to Amanda's former co-stars, who were interviewed for the recent docuseries Quiet on Set, Amanda's parents were very hands-on in her career, especially her father, Rick Bynes. Yes, Amanda was Rick's little wind-up doll, and a talented one at that.
Nice going, Amanda. We told you used too much.
Well, so, what's so bad about a room filled with popcorn?
Even producer Dan Schneider took a special interest in the youngster, and according to castmates, started pulling her from on-set classes for what they were told were opportunities to pitch ideas and write. And so, with Rick Bynes and Dan Schneider joining forces to carefully craft Amanda's career, it wasn't long before the budding actress was securing further gigs at Nickelodeon, from a panelist position on the network's quirky talent guessing competition show called Figure It Out in 1997, to Dan's first project as showrunner in 1999, Amanda's very own TV show. As the title of the series suggested, The Amanda Show hinged on the charisma and star power of the name at the center of it, Amanda. The series involved recurring comedy sketches featuring dancing lobsters, girls loitering in a high school bathroom, and viewer favorite Penelope Taint, Amanda's most obsessive fan, played by Amanda herself.
Listen up, wannabe. You happen to be looking at Amanda's #1 fan, please.
And it seemed the network betting on Amanda paid off, as the show proved to be a massive success. But after 3 seasons worth of acclaim on The Amanda Show, the sitcom star was ready to take off the training wheels and enter the big leagues. In 2002, Amanda appeared in her first film, Big Fat Liar, alongside co-star Malcolm in the Middle's Frankie Muniz. Still, according to Dan Schneider, his prodigy showed no signs of succumbing to the temptations of fame. I've seen kids in her position experiment with narcotics and be too promiscuous, but Amanda has avoided all of that, he told the New York Times in 2002. My wife, who knows her, says she's almost like Marsha Brady, in that she's so clean-cut and wholesome. But of course, Dan was a little biased. After all, the show creator and Amanda had grown incredibly close over the course of The Amanda Show, and affectionate as crew members would often catch Amanda hugging Dan or giving him a neck massage on set. Hey, Dan had even created the teen sitcom What I Like About You with Friends producer Will Cahoon to accompany Amanda as her career evolved past children's TV. However, it wasn't long after this that Dan and Amanda parted ways. See, according to Quiet on Set, when Amanda turned 16, she started seeing an older man that the docuseries doesn't name, but according to her dating history, was likely 19 to 20-year-old Taran Killam, who she reportedly started seeing in 2002.
Now, do you have a boyfriend?
I do.
And how old is he?
He is 21 today, actually. It's his birthday.
21. We're all like, oh, we're not so sure. But you know what? It's Hollywood. So 17, you're like, a little judgment.
Her parents disapproved of the relationship, and so Amanda turned to Dan, allegedly asking for his help running away. According to Quiet on Set, the details of what exactly happened that night are murky. However, according to sources, police were involved. After this, Amanda again sought Dan's counsel to gain emancipation from her parents at the age of 16 and 17, a plot that inevitably backfired when the motion failed in court and led to Dan being cut out of Amanda's career by her parents. By 18, however, Amanda was back to being pushed as this good, wholesome girl.
You on all that stuff?
No, thank God.
Still live with your mom and dad?
I still live at home. I'm so lucky. I love my family, and why move when...
Good for you. Good for you. Set an example to the kids. Send a message to the kids of America. It's okay to be wholesome.
It's okay to not have piercing.
And Amanda continued her hot streak as she seemingly transitioned from teen idol to industry heavyweight after nabbing roles in She's the Man and Hairspray. But it soon became clear that success didn't follow her to every pursuit. In 2007, the actress launched her one clothing line called Dear, which was sold at the American retail chain Steve & Barry's. The line was affordable and aimed at school-age girls, as well as teens. Unfortunately for Amanda, Steve & Barry's was not spared by the Great Recession, and the chain filed for bankruptcy in 2008. And with that first, albeit small, career failure, it soon became clear that Amanda's luck wasn't only limited, it was running out. In March 2010, Amanda was reportedly cast in the Farley Brothers film Hall Pass. But on Twitter, the actress broke the news that she was not filming in Atlanta and had actually dropped out of the film due to scheduling conflicts. Despite a burgeoning flaky reputation, Amanda still landed a role in Easy A, an opportunity the actress decided to see through this time. However, it would be Amanda's last film. About 3 months before the film's official release, then 24-year-old Amanda dropped a bombshell. I've retired. Further adding that she doesn't like acting anymore because she couldn't have a say in the characters or scripts. But while most retirements are followed by living life at a more relaxed pace, Amanda's post-career lifestyle had her heading in a high-speed downward spiral. Amanda would face multiple run-ins with the law. From April to September 2012, Amanda would find herself involved in 4 driving-related incidents, suspicion of DUI, 2 hit-and-runs, and driving with a suspended license. Despite denying some of the allegations on Twitter, by June and September, Amanda was formally charged with all 4 incidents. Amanda pleaded not guilty to all charges and even asked the then President Barack Obama to fire the cop who arrested her. If found guilty, the possible outcomes for Amanda included rehab, probation, or jail. Yes, it was a far fall from the actress who once was held so high above her partying peers.
You haven't been to jail?
No.
No jail?
Not yet.
Rehab?
No.
No rehab. Amanda Bynes, what kind of a starlet are you?
I know, what's wrong with me?
And those who might have been sympathetic to the media storm that was now surrounding the former actress were unimpressed. Fellow paparazzi magnate and DUI recipient Lindsay Lohan vented to Twitter, "Why do I get put in jail and a Nickelodeon star has had no punishment so far?" Unknown to Lindsay was that Amanda's court date was still upcoming, and so were consequences. Still, Amanda was adamant the charges were false and told People magazine in a phone interview that she was doing amazing and had plans to move to New York and start a fashion line. Despite Amanda's positivity, a source close to Amanda expressed concerns about her sobriety, with her family moving from Texas to LA in an effort to support their daughter after her April DUI. But even outside of her legal woes, Amanda's actions were concerning to the public. A source told People that Amanda had taken off her shirt during a spin class to reveal a tiny black strapless push-up bra, and then reapplied makeup in the large mirror in front of her. And just about an hour after her seemingly composed phone interview with People was published, Amanda had a confrontation with a paparazzo who snagged a photo while she was attempting to hide her face. She asked him to delete the unflattering photo and pose for new ones before allegedly grabbing his camera and scratching him in the process. When the paparazzo accused her of the harm inflicted, Amanda replied, "I didn't touch you." 2 days later, TMZ reported Amanda was dropped by her management team, which included her agent, publicist, and lawyer. But while Amanda's own opinion of herself couldn't silence the unending bad publicity, perhaps a lawsuit would do the trick. "I'm suing In Touch for printing a fake story," Amanda told Us Weekly in a November 2012 article. The story Amanda was referring to claimed the former actress had walked through a tanning salon in nothing but her birthday suit. An alleged witness told In Touch Amanda appeared to be painfully thin, seemed totally out of it, and didn't seem to care that everyone saw her unclothed. But according to Amanda, she claimed, "I'm not troubled. I don't undress in public. I'm 26, a multimillionaire, retired. Please respect my privacy." There was clearly a contrast between what the media reported and what Amanda believed. But could Amanda's era of tabloid headlines and court dates finally be coming to a close? On December 14th, 2012, the LA Times reported that Amanda reached a settlement with victims of her 2 separate hit-and-run incidents. But while Amanda's legal proceedings had concluded, Amanda's spiral showed no signs of stopping. In January 2013, Amanda posted a photo on Tumblr rocking a new accessory, a left dimple piercing. While a normal accessory, this was a big contrast from her once clean and wholesome image. And in March 2013, the former actress posted a series of controversial tweets, ranging from nonsensical to downright hostile. She tweeted that she invented the initialisms ILY and LOLOLOL. She tweeted about wanting rapper Drake to do some, well, not PG things to her. She even subtweeted former Hairspray castmate Nikki Blonsky, stating she was ignoring her forever, both online and IRL. Amanda also continued to call out alleged lies published about her, including claiming that a photo of her sporting new red locks wasn't really her. But perhaps Amanda's reaction wasn't based on disbelief that she was the woman in the photo, but the desire not to be. In April 2013, the star opened up about her mental health, tweeting, "I have an ED, so I have a hard time staying thin." Amanda's former friend, Ana Rivera, attributed the start of Amanda's ED to her mother's influence, particularly after losing weight due to an infection during the film Love Wrecked, when her mother told her she never looked better. Ana also observed Amanda's rapid physical changes, like cheek piercings and tattoos, as signs of body dysmorphia, adding, "She was really obsessed with how she looks." On April 15th, Amanda's virtual spiral continued when she posted a video of herself online, captioned, "I'm sucking on a Sour Patch Kid listening to music getting ready for tonight," where she was rapidly blinking and pouting her lips. People found the footage concerning. Later that month, Amanda debuted another addition to her appearance, an undercut. But to Amanda, she was absolutely stable. As she told In Touch readers in May 2013, "I have no clue why people say I'm insane. Every time I've heard it, it came from an ugly person's mouth, so I don't care." Amanda told the magazine she had threatened to sue 6 months earlier, adding she was allergic to alcohol and didn't smoke anything other than tobacco. The former actress claimed she was focused on her career, which would soon involve designing clothing and singing. But it seemed Amanda's present might not have been as hunky-dory as she made it seem. The same day In Touch published their article, actress Jenny McCarthy tweeted, "Police are at Amanda Bynes' house. I hope they get her help. Enough of this circus. She needs help." Amanda denied this, calling her out on Twitter while attacking her appearance, causing Jenny to apologize and delete her previous tweets. On May 5th, 2013, it appeared In Touch was back on Amanda's bad side. In Touch used a photo from years ago on their cover, and I hate it, Amanda tweeted. According to Amanda, she didn't want her old photos used anymore because she felt prettier with her new nose job that removed the supposed webbing in between her eyes, adding, having surgery was the most amazing thing for my confidence. Despite Amanda seemingly being at peace with her appearance, her legal troubles and bad press couldn't be smoothed over with a confidence boost. On May 9, 2013, E! News confirmed that the star had pleaded no contest to driving with a suspended license. Amanda was sentenced to 3 years probation and fined $1,400. Later that month, In Touch published an inside look into the darkest night of Amanda's life. The spread featured photos that took place at Amanda's apartment, including a small baggie and a rolled paper that could have contained illegal substances and her injured feet. As for Amanda's defenses, the star accused the magazine of altering the photos, but the next day, it appeared Amanda's behavior had reached a boiling point when officers were called to an apartment building in Manhattan after receiving a complaint that the former actress was smoking an illegal substance in the lobby. When they arrived at Amanda's unit, the star promptly disposed of the evidence by throwing a piece of paraphernalia out of the 36th floor window. Amanda was then arrested on charges of reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, and criminal possession of an illegal substance. The star showed up to her court date in a long blonde wig, where she claimed the alleged piece of paraphernalia was just a vase, and made the vague accusation that the officers had improperly arrested her. 2 days later, Amanda expanded on her statement on Twitter, alleging she had been SA'd during the arrest and even called the cops on the cop. Then I was sent to a mental hospital. Offensive. I kept asking for my lawyer, but they wouldn't let me, she tweeted. Amanda insisted there'd been no evidence found inside her apartment or outside her window to corroborate what the police reported. That's why the judge let me go. Don't believe any reports, she claimed. But Amanda's legal battles weren't so time-consuming that the former actress didn't have a spare moment to instigate the occasional Twitter feud. The day after calling out her arresting officers, Amanda tweeted disparaging remarks about Rihanna's appearance and implied the singer's looks had provoked Chris Brown to commit DV, prompting Rihanna to counter. You see what happens when they cancel intervention? And Rihanna wasn't the only one Amanda was targeting that day. Her parents were also on the receiving end. Radar Online reported Amanda's parents were looking into obtaining a conservatorship over their daughter in an effort to put the then 27-year-old into a psychiatric facility without her consent. Amanda tweeted that her parents' words should never be trusted and their actions would soon be met with a lawsuit for stealing her money while claiming they were managing her. I would rather them be homeless than live off of my money, she tweeted. But despite seeming like she had moved on, the NYPD was still on Amanda's mind as she tweeted the next day, I'm suing NYPD for illegally entering my apartment, lying about illegal substances on me, and lying about me tampering with non-existent narcotic paraphernalia. Then I'm suing for being put into a mental hospital against my will, then locked up overnight for coming home after a facial and working out with my trainer, like the good girl that I am. But Amanda's following actions didn't scream upstanding citizen. It was July 23, 2013, and emergency services had just received a disturbing phone call about an unfolding incident in Thousand Oaks, California.
Dan, what's on fire?
It's like a small piece of cloth and a gasoline tank.
As for the arsonist, well, to residents' surprise, it appeared to be a certain headline-grabbing actress.
I saw this girl laying down right here with her left pant leg on fire. When I look at her, I'm like, it's Amanda Bynes.
Amanda had allegedly set an elderly woman's driveway on fire, a seemingly unprovoked act, as the woman explained.
When I first came out, I was really worried because I didn't know who had done this, and they were asking me if I knew anybody that would do something like that to my driveway, and I don't.
The arson didn't lead to Amanda's arrest, but a 5150 psychiatric hold on the star, which after her evaluation was extended by 30 days. Upon release, Amanda was placed in a temporary conservatorship of her mother. And by January 2014, for the first time in a long time, it appeared Amanda was back on track. The retired actress had enrolled in FIDM, Southern California's Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. And by the end of her first quarter, sources praised her for her great behavior as a student. But had a brief stint at a mental health facility truly stabilized the star? Not quite. In late September 2014, it appeared Amanda was back to her old ways when she was arrested in Sherman Oaks, California for another DUI. And by October 2014, any progress Amanda had made toward her degree came to a screeching halt when she was kicked out of FIDM. According to the allegations of Amanda's classmates, she started skipping class, cheating on tests, paying other students to do her coursework, and when she did show up to a course, appeared to be under the influence of an illegal substance. Shortly after this, on October 8th, Amanda was captured dancing in security footage at a boutique in New York, where she allegedly tried to pocket some items just an hour before she was caught stealing a hat from Barney's. And in another bad omen of turning tides, Amanda's Twitter presence was back in a big way. On October 10th, Amanda tweeted allegations that her father, Rick Bynes, had essayed her as a child and that she planned to get a restraining order against him. But later that day, the star took back her allegations, tweeting, "My dad never did any of those things. The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me." 24 hours later, Amanda was again placed in a 5150 hold. The 72-hour stay was extended by 2 weeks, then by 30 days. During this time, Amanda's mother launched a legal petition for conservatorship over her daughter, stating she posed a substantial risk to herself, to others, and to property. The filing went on to allege Amanda needed her finances to be controlled due to reckless spending that dipped heavily into her savings and included extensive purchases as gifts from jewelry stores such as Cartier for strangers. The petition also referenced her behavior since her DUI in September, which included allegedly attempting to shoplift, allegedly scratching a woman inside a nightclub, and being kicked out of the John F. Kennedy International Airport. During this process, Amanda made headlines again for claiming she was engaged to her then 19-year-old boyfriend, explaining, "I want to be married and I want to be away from people," adding that she hates men, but still desires them. As for her relationship, she spoke about starting a family, writing to In Touch, "I want boys, for sure. However many I can pop out. I don't want a gorgeous girl around. Then I would feel way jealous. Ew." It seemed nothing came of this, as by October 29th, 2014, Amanda's mother was granted conservatorship, giving the mother control of Amanda's medical care, finances, and personal affairs. But by November 6th, it appeared Amanda's mom already felt the weight of the responsibility was too much, as she reportedly planned to hand responsibilities over to mental health professionals, and that the parents were moving back to Texas. On Twitter, Amanda told her followers that she was no longer living with her parents, nor was she legally obligated to, explaining she would be released from her conservatorship if she complied with the courts and took her meds. Amanda also opened up about her diagnosis, tweeting, "I was diagnosed bipolar and manic depressive, so I'm on medication, and I'm seeing my psychologist and psychiatrist weekly, so I'm fine." And gradually, Amanda's outrageous virtual and real-life antics seemed to die down. Only 4 years later did the actress return to the public eye, and this time, it appeared she was a changed woman. In December 2018, Amanda appeared on the cover of Paper Magazine's winter issue and revealed she was back at FIDM, expressing her dreams of one day designing her own line after she got back into acting. With an impressive level of composure and self-reflection, Amanda delved into her past. Amanda admitted that after seeing herself in She's the Man, with the short wig, sideburns, and lack of traditionally feminine makeup, felt like an out-of-body experience, and her mental health took a dive. "I went into a deep depression for 4 to 6 months because I didn't like how I looked when I was a boy. I've never told anyone that," she said. And behind the scenes, Amanda acknowledged she was hardly the good girl everyone thought she was. By 16, the actress was smoking pot, but had her use under control. But she later started taking harder illegal substances, and in her 20s, eventually took a liking to Adderall after reading an article that it kept women thin. She revealed her departure from Hall Pass had nothing to do with scheduling conflicts, but was the result of abusing her medication to the point that she couldn't memorize lines and could only focus on the perceived flaws in her appearance. And after an early viewing of Easy A, Amanda's insecurities soared to new heights. I literally couldn't stand my appearance in that movie, and I didn't like my performance. I was absolutely convinced I needed to stop acting after seeing it, she said. Amanda explained pot affected her brain differently than it does others, which she believed may have influenced her self-perception or triggered psychosis. And with retirement in her 20s, Amanda was faced with a sense of isolation most don't experience until their later years. So she occupied her time with illegal substances, TV, and as we all know, Twitter. According to Amanda, all of her behavior during those tumultuous years online could be attributed to her usage of illegal substances, as she realized, when I was off of them, I was completely back to normal. I'm really ashamed and embarrassed with the things I said. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would. And I'm so sorry to whoever I hurt and whoever I lied about, because it truly eats away at me, she told Paper Magazine. But despite the star's imperfect past, she had been sober for almost 4 years, a feat Amanda partially credited her parents for. As for what the future might hold for her, the former actress claimed she had no fear because she had already been through the worst. But only 2 years later, Amanda would return to rough waters. In February 2020, Amanda announced her engagement, revealing her fiancé, Paul Michael, who she allegedly met at a sober living home. The next month, Amanda and Paul posted pregnancy-related photos, which were later deleted, as Amanda's attorney clarified she was seeking mental health treatment and not pregnant. And regardless of what the media was saying at the time, Amanda was also not residing in a sober living facility and was instead sheltering in a safe location and was doing very well, her attorney told Fox. 2 years later, in March 2022, Amanda's 9-year conservatorship ended. But just as Amanda regained her freedom, her romantic life started to implode. In April 2022, Amanda faced domestic issues with Paul, leading to police involvement after he allegedly relapsed and vandalized his mother's home. And once again, Amanda shared her personal life online.
Paul told me that he stopped taking his medications. I looked at his phone and he was looking at mom and son porn. He vandalized his mom's home. He broke all of her pictures and put salmon under her bed. I forgot to mention, I found Paul's stash of crack cocaine he's been using for the past 6 months. He needs serious help. I kicked him out of my house. His behavior is alarming, and I'm afraid of what he'll do.
Paul denied the allegations, and a few hours later, Amanda clarified the situation.
Correction. Paul looked up MILFs. Moms and sons just popped up. Also, I went to CVS, bought a test. Paul tested clean. Paul's clean. Also, I had something in my teeth in the last video.
In January 2022, Paul and Amanda separated, but by August, the two were spotted together in LA. Although neither wore their ring, an insider told ET that they were still together as a couple. The two broke up for the final time in March 2023. Weeks later, she was found roaming the streets of LA unclothed and was again taken into psychiatric care. She was released weeks later. Since then, Amanda has kept low-key. However, there have been a few updates from the star. For one, in December 2023, Amanda launched a podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to Amanda Bynes and Paul Semensky, the podcast. Today we are welcoming Dahlia Moth on our show.
Hi everyone.
However, after the premiere, Amanda wasn't so sure about the venture.
So even though the podcast is doing really well and the response has been great, I am going to take a pause on it for now. We are not able to get the type of guests that I'd like on the show, like say Jack Harlow or Drake or Post Malone.
And instead put her focus into a more practical career, a manicurist. Despite failing the board exam to obtain her manicurist license back in 2022, by April 2023, Amanda returned to cosmetology school to try again. And that's the story of Amanda's career, or at least, that's the publicly available version of the events. The problem is, after Quiet on Set, the public is no longer satisfied with the official narrative. After all, the docuseries revealed that Nickelodeon kept a trove of dark secrets over the years. Who's to say there weren't a few more involving Amanda that were still buried? And so, in the absence of facts, internet sleuths have recently turned to the same source their 4 brothers and sisters did in the golden age of Lilo, Paris, and Britney, the blinds. But what are blind items exactly? Well, They're pieces of gossip from supposed insiders that present juicy, albeit often defamatory allegations about celebrities that, due to their anonymous nature, should be taken with a hefty grain of salt. And while these blinds typically refrain from outright naming the A-list to D-list subjects of the rumors, there are some posts that have been attributed to Amanda. This includes a recent blind posted on March 7th that alleged Amanda was asked to be a part of Quiet on Set and that the request alone left her paralyzed for nearly a week. The allegation that Amanda was invited to be in the docuseries was then reported by TMZ later that month. The tabloid, however, elaborated that Amanda's refusal to take part was because she simply didn't have a bad experience. Amanda's desire to remain out of the series was all they needed to know. Amanda should be left alone. She's been through so much already. She doesn't know anyone anything. However, for those still looking to fill in the blanks, blinds that dated back years were too enticing to ignore. And so, the internet continued to rifle through allegations of promiscuous behavior and on-set drama, with her former co-star Jenny Garth in search of explanations. There was a blind item from February 2020, just after Amanda announced her engagement to Paul Michael, that read, "This former AA, list of troubled actress, isn't going to be allowed to get married, so all of this talk is just talk." As we know now, the engagement was shortly called off, and as the blind item implied, perhaps Amanda's conservatorship that she was still under until 2022 had something to do with this. Then again, this could have just been guesswork based on the already publicly available information at the time. Other blinds involving Amanda had similarly scandalous, unsubstantiated claims, including the allegation from 2012 that Amanda's rumored ex, Kid Cudi, was the one that hooked her on illegal substances, and that her friends were trying to convince her she needed to dump him and to go to rehab just to escape him, if not to get clean. A more recent post from January also brought up the reported ex, claiming Amanda had accused Kid Cudi of taking her one night and casting spells on her, which caused her to have a breakdown. But what about Amanda's past as a child star? Well, a few stomach-turning blind items are floating out there online. For example, in one post from November 2017, that's assumed to be regarding Amanda, it's alleged that a former A-list tween actress turned A-list dual threat actress turned stay-at-home-a-lot is about to name names, a lot of names. The blind item went on to launch the damaging allegation that the star had been essayed by men 2 and 3 times her age when she was a teenager. All of the people she is naming still work a lot, the post read. I think she thinks she won't be believed because of her past. And then there's a blind from 2018, where the poster alleged they received a text from Amanda regarding a disgraced producer that read, "I will obviously not be making any comment whatsoever, for obvious reasons. And unfortunately, I feel as though the only way that legitimate stories can make the headlines regarding said producer is if others publicly speak on his behavior. Said producer was truly like a second father to me, but things changed. After the second incident, I don't know if I will ever be able to have children or have the family of my dreams. People have been picking the scab for years. I just won't be the one who finally rips it off." Earlier in the alleged text, there was also a secret message in the capitalized letters. "Don't any men do is done in and light." Spelling, Dan did it, seeming to allude to Dan Schneider. As for the claim Amanda might not be able to have children after the incident, well, it seems to draw on an allegation that was posted to another platform, which brings us to Amanda's tweets. Following Quiet on Set, people had begun digging through archives of Amanda's old tweets, and they've been disturbed to find allegations the actress previously retracted regarding her father mistreating her. "I need to tell the truth about my dad. He called me ugly as a child, and then asked me if I wanted to sleep with him, and I did not know how to respond, and I said no, and then I was forced to live with my dad, which was a total nightmare." On top of tweeting that she wanted a restraining order against her father, she claimed he was incestuous and that he fondled himself in front of her so often she started recording him in an attempt to catch him, saying or doing something inappropriate around her and have him thrown in jail for the rest of his life. She added that her mother knew about his perversions, yet never involved the police, something that embarrassed Amanda to no end. There was even a tweet that could be tied to a murky detail of that night when Amanda attempted to run away from her parents and ended up at the police station that read, "The police filed a report against my dad. I am not able to be in the same room with him. He is a predator and should be in jail." As for the tweet where Amanda claimed these allegations were all the result of a microchip in her head, well, after watching Quiet on Set, viewers weren't so quick to discount Amanda's previous claims. As one user wrote, "I believe her about her dad. In the doc, they mentioned how motivated her dad seemed about advancing her career and constantly meeting with Dan Schneider away from the rest of the set. Other cast members seemed very uncomfortable talking about her dad, only really saying that his presence was felt on set. It also just seems weird to me that he was such an active member on set, but no red flags went off about Dan Schneider? In my opinion, it looks like birds of a feather flocking together." On another occasion, Amanda tweeted, "I'm Britney Spears," a statement that either showed the gravity of her mental illness or was an attempt to compare her situation at the time with what Britney Spears had gone through. After all, their lives reflected each other's in more ways than one. Amanda had also been in a conservatorship under her parents, and she'd even have an experience with Britney's former manager, Sam Lufty, someone she claimed she needed a restraining order against after he allegedly sent her to Aurora Behavioral Center, which led to her conservatorship. However, it wasn't just tweets from Amanda's verified account that have recently resurfaced. See, a rumor currently circulating the internet that was previously alluded to in that 2018 blind item claims that Dan Schneider not only allegedly impregnated Amanda at 13, but that the Amanda Show openly mocked the essay in an opening skit.
We're just trying to do a little TV show.
On an empty stomach?
What?
It looks like you could use a pretzel, that's all I'm saying. What about these audience people?
Yeah, okay, I'll take 398.
Buy 400 and get a free baby.
Done.
Great.
As for where this rumor originated from, well, back in the day, there was a user on Twitter that went by Ashley Banks, aka Persian LA 27, that claimed to be Amanda, explaining her parents allegedly ran her verified account, so she used this private account to talk to her fans. The account levied some pretty serious allegations, including tweets that read, "Harvey Weinstein? Didn't you mean Dan Schneider? No? Oh, okay. There are many predators in Hollywood. Some of the rumors are true, some of the rumors are false. One man in particular took hundreds of photos of my feet. I was only 13, and one of the main reasons why I may never be able to get pregnant." Even describing some of the inappropriate requests and behavior of the producer in exchange for roles on the show. On another occasion, the account alleged other disturbing experiences, such as being under control, causing her to miss appointments, limited phone use, and older men offering help in exchange for compromising photos. I've tried to speak my truth. Instead, I was called insane, lost my career, and I was tied to a bed against my will while being pushed dangerous amounts of prescriptions, the account alleged. NDAs should be illegal. Hiding crimes behind paper and ink should not be tolerated. But while a portion of the internet has taken this allegation as gospel, what are the facts? Well, it's believed Amanda at one point allegedly had a burner account in 2013, not called at Persian LA 27, but at Persian NYC 27.
She never denied that the account was her because the account never claimed to be her, but it was one of 6 accounts she followed, and she would retweet it, and Perez Hilton responded to it and her one time, and she replied.
The official Amanda also had the habit of retweeting the NYC account, which from the limited tweets that still exist, had the same signature flair to their prose as Amanda. My favorite word is vom, short for vomit. The voices in my head are driving me crazy. I don't think anymore, I just talk. But what about Ashley Banks, aka Persian LA 27? Well, while the account attempted to prove it was Amanda by posting what appeared to be the star's partially concealed license, other behavior from the account called its authenticity into question. Ashley Banks was known for reposting photos Amanda had already posted to social media, and the time the account did post an original photo, someone lightened the dark image to reveal it was someone else in a blonde wig. The account also asked users for money through Venmo and blocked them afterwards, which internet sleuths managed to trace the Venmo account back to a man whose facial features looked identical to the blonde wig photo. And unlike at Persian NYC 27, Amanda not only never interacted with the account, but publicly said it wasn't her after the account announced that she was engaged to someone named Matt and was pregnant in 2017. I am not at Persian LA 27. I am not getting married and I am not pregnant. I don't understand why Twitter won't take at Persian LA 27 down. Amanda also claimed the account got into her private Instagram and took her photos and videos, which could explain the license photo. Most damningly, when Amanda was 5150'd in October 2014, the account was still tweeting until the news broke, at which point they strategically deleted everything they tweeted when Amanda was in the mental health facility. Still, after the release of Quiet on Set, people weren't so quick to shut down the allegations, considering the mistreatment the docuseries covered. Was it possible the person who hacked into Amanda's private Instagram found conversations and footage that may expose her experience as a child actor? Or had the account allegedly belonged to Amanda at some point, before her management team found out and had to make it look fake? At the time of the account's existence, some people theorized that Amanda may have had issues with self-identity, as account tweeted, "Amanda is an actress, a very bad and evil one at that. I am Ashley, a fashion design extraordinaire. Amanda is not my friend, and I am scared of her, and I'm tired of her controlling my thoughts." Some even attributed the account's behavior to the infamous MK Ultra experiment after the account spoke about being microchipped and controlled, adding, "Hollywood has destroyed me. Ever since I announced my retirement, they've decided to personally ruin my life. They had me committed against my own will. They stole my money. They are forcing me to take substances and threatening my freedom. They are trying to end me, regardless of the authenticity of the Twitter allegations. Conspiracies involving Amanda and Dan Schneider date back years, and his relationship with Amanda has certainly attracted some speculation. See, despite Amanda publicly saying she began taking Adderall at 16, conspiracy theorists have speculated that the starlet's abuse of this medication started on the set of The Amanda Show, where producer Dan forced her to take the medication to give her the energy she needed to perform. The conspiracy has also been attributed to Amanda's parents.
Amanda would throw tantrums on set because she was just so tired. It was said that she would say, "I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm falling asleep" over 40, 50 times, and her parents would just yell at her, or they would force her to take those medications.
But while Amanda's behavior in a 1999 interview with Howie Mandel is evidence enough for some,
Well, I want to be like a fashion designer. I love to draw like girls. I don't really draw guys. So, I did something special for you.
Wow.
It's hard. I was going to put you like in a little tutu or something, but
Really?
No, I wasn't going to.
Is that what the picture on the internet had?
No.
for others, the manic air to Amanda's hyperactivity was more indicative of her bipolar diagnosis still to come.
You know what? You'll never have to drink coffee. You know that.
Yeah, I don't.
I know.
I drink enough Coca-Cola. I love Coke.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got that caffeine
They made
kind
like
of
a
feel.
Yet, the conspiracies don't end there. No, according to online rumors that behind-the-scenes footage from Quiet on Set gave weight to, the physical affection Dan showed towards Amanda on The Amanda Show went beyond what was appropriate.
It was said by other members of the cast that on set, Dan Schneider would sometimes hug Amanda from behind, almost like a boyfriend would do to a girlfriend, in front of her parents, and they would allow it.
And this has led to speculation that Dan's interest in emancipating Amanda from her parents was an effort to get her alone. However, when Amanda and Dan parted ways career-wise, viewers sensed some lingering resentment towards the star from the producer's side. For example, despite giving shoutouts to other Nickelodeon stars and productions, Dan seemed to slight The Amanda Show and Amanda. On top of that, users have pointed out that the child actress character, Ashley Blake from Drake and Josh, not only shared Amanda's initials, but the poster for her fictitious movie looked awfully similar to Amanda's What a Girl Wants. Yet, while conspiracies and blind items may lack any tangible proof, the fact is that during her time on Nickelodeon, Amanda worked closely with 2 convicted predators. And while Quiet on Set doesn't name Amanda as one of their victims, their presence on set prompts one question: was Nickelodeon a safe place for Amanda or any child to work?
My name's Amanda. Nickelodeon pays me to do this.
After all, this was an environment where a young Amanda played a character jokingly named Penelope Taint.
My name is Penelope Taint.
They deliberately made the character of Penelope speak Spanish. The first 4 letters of her name, in Spanish that means
a male's private parts.
Even as a kid, my whole entire friend group knew taint meant taint.
And where the actress hot tubbed with Dan Schneider and other grown men, one of whom was insinuated to be going commando.
Now, it's also true that you invented underwear.
What is underwear?
Skip it.
Yes. As viewers look back, they found multiple inappropriate moments on the show, including possible innuendos.
Just give the top a twist.
You think that'll work?
I've seen it done.
The time has come for me to finally meet Amanda, please.
Special interest requests.
How's that?
Jump up and down!
General weirdness.
That's great soda!
That's not soda, that's sumo! You're good.
Uncomfortable age gaps.
Stick around, I'm gonna show Andrew Keegan where the bowling alley is.
And Dan Schneider's favorite punchline, feet.
I have a portable callus sander.
I'll burn this callus right off.
We've also scrubbed through all 3 seasons from The Amanda Show and have found more clips that have aged poorly. Note that Amanda is 13 to 16 years old during this time. There was an obsession with liquids or messes, such as adults watering down a muddy Amanda while she giggled, then a cut to an extreme close-up, as if it was specialized interest content. In a fictional game of Pass the Skunk, the loser gets squirted with a mystery liquid. During a parody commercial of Rice Krispies cereal, the pop of the cereal causes milk to splatter the children, making Amanda dump ice down her top and giggling. There were frequent older male guests getting romantic with Amanda. At 13, Amanda was romantically lifted by 20-year-old Andrew Keegan. At 14, Amanda had to kiss 17-year-old Matthew Bertucci's and 19-year-old Chris Merson. At 15, Amanda had to dress in an exposing outfit as a hula girl and was only given thin white shorts to cover up the see-through skirt. There were also multiple sketches with adult men behaving in a way they probably shouldn't have around a teenager, such as this man asking for Amanda's autograph, but wanting something more.
And if I have the time, I'd like to,
What's the matter?
I ran out of head.
This man approaching Amanda after a shower and losing his only article of clothing by the end of the sketch.
You dropped something.
This odd angle of a man opening Amanda's robe. There were lots of concerning undertones, such as referencing school supplies with an innuendo.
They're all stuck to me. Now it's his fault you're sticky.
A grown man with an achy back asking Amanda to help him, then responding with innuendos.
Don't be shy!
How's that?
Jump up and down!
And perhaps most of these secret jokes came from Amanda's fictional dad on the Moody Points segment, where his advice didn't help the situation, such as when describing wishes.
I wish Mom was here.
Oh, sweetheart. If wishes were omelets, we'd all be filled with cheese and small pieces of ham.
When trying to cheer up Amanda from returning a videotape late.
But just because a cat has kittens in the oven doesn't make them biscuits.
And giving advice on acting before a big audition.
Just remember, Moody, that acting is a lot like taking a shower. Just use plenty of soaps and shampoos and you'll be fine, as long as you take off your socks and dance the foofty-doo.
And if they weren't innuendos, they'd be hidden in the show in subtle ways. In one of the games of So You Want to Win $5, the list of potential answers seem oddly timed.
C, pink, or D, meat.
There were more feet-related content, such as the girls promoting a foot toy in a sleepover commercial.
Look! My beautiful big toe!
A caller daring Amanda to brush her teeth with Drake's toe.
I cannot believe I just did that!
Looking back, Dan Schneider's role as Mr. Oldman can also be seen as suspicious.
I wish children didn't exist! Children are the opposite of good! You kids stay off my lawn or I'll turn a hose on you!
There were subtle things that probably didn't need to be there for a successful show, but for some reason happened, such as Amanda's shirt progressively getting higher throughout the seasons of the Hillbilly Moment segment, making 14-year-old Amanda do a flip in a miniskirt where her undergarments seemed to be briefly exposed, making 16-year-old Josh Peck parody an adult dancer as Amanda's birthday gift in the Girls Show segment, performing leg hair and armpit hair sketches, Amanda and Dan exchanging suspicious lines in a prank call segment.
Now insert the nozzle into your mouth.
But I don't want to get... All right, now what?
Squirt, Nipsey, squirt!
whipped cream! Now please ask your question. I have a meatloaf in my oven!
But while Quiet on Set prompted everyone to take a second look at these clips, it also gave way for another reemergence, that of Dan Schneider. In a recent interview with iCarly alum Boogie, Dan Schneider addressed the accusations the docuseries had launched against him. And despite admitting to some of his wrongs, the show creator would not admit that there was anything intentionally inappropriate about the content he created.
Every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny, and only funny, okay?
Similarly, he denied he'd done anything other than look out for Amanda's best interests, from her attempted emancipation from her parents.
We supported her. She tried to get emancipated, and it ended up not working out. She didn't.
To the night she tried to run away. See, according to Dan's retelling of events, sometime after midnight, the star had reached out to him.
Phone rang, I answered, it was Amanda.
And from the sounds of it, she was not in a good state.
She was upset, she was in distress, she had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me.
So, Dan sprung into action.
I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
That was Dan's side of the story. As for Amanda's, well, she hasn't publicly commented on the docuseries. And as a number of internet users have emphasized, she has no requirement to.
I don't think Amanda Bynes ever has to speak on this. And there was a point in Amanda Bynes' life where she could have been Meryl. And men like Dan Schneider robbed her of that. The studio executives at Nickelodeon who were actively choosing to turn a blind eye, and even the ones that didn't, even the cameraman. I do not know how you sleep at night.
In life, mental illness and addiction rarely present in socially acceptable ways. Messiness, problematic behavior, and dangerous antics are all par for the course amongst those in the midst of these deeply personal battles. But as our cultural awareness surrounding mental health and substance abuse evolves, perhaps we'll learn how to show more leniency towards those embarking on their non-linear journeys of recovery and betterment.
Mental health, addiction are extremely hard things to fight and to recover from, and we shouldn't expect perfection from Bynes or criticize her or others so heavily for their ups and downs.
And while assumptions can be made over the star's current state, it's impossible to know what's going on behind closed doors.
I have absolutely no idea what the future is going to hold for Amanda Bynes, but the truth is, I hope she can manage to keep maintaining a solid support system because even today, she is still a remarkably talented woman.
What we do know is that Amanda has come a long way before.
I mean, so often you've seen people get torn to shreds in the tabloids because of similar things Amanda struggled with, and they don't even get to make it to the end of it.
Who's to say she couldn't do it again? The way the industry and public treated Amanda can be painful to look back on.
Why weren't more people helping Amanda and the countless other Amandas out there just trying to exist in a world that only loves them when they're putting on a smile and performing for everyone else's entertainment?
Especially when we fans are left with no way to reverse the clock and change the outcome.
I'm 12, turning 13, April 3rd. Yay! Teenager!
However, since former child actors have used Quiet on Set as a vehicle to advocate for laws that would better protect young talent and call for mental health services for children on set.
It's about allowing the children to express how they're feeling so they can work through those feelings and make a informed, consensual decision.
Perhaps the industry will be better equipped to prevent what happened to Amanda.
I just have my eye on the prize, which for me is a long career, and I don't want to blow what I've worked so hard to achieve.
From ever happening again. This is the story of Amanda Bynes, a cautionary tale of what can happen when children are pushed into the adult world of show business.